So hey everybody, welcome to the inside of the Airstream, and it's a little different today. So I'm using a lav mic with my iPhone. So we'll see how that works out. And we're back in the Airstream again. So I left the Blue Yeti behind just because I've got enough gear coming along with me, and the big part of this trip isn't actually making these videos for YouTube. The big part of this trip is actually doing the work for 2 client locations. So I'm going to be focusing on that. But I thought we'd talk about the initial setup. Today's Sunday, and the folks in the park are not available today. They're weekdays only in the office, which is great. It's nice to have the weekends off. I got down here a little early to get things prepped. So today I'm not really scouting the location because we've had a lot of rain overnight and we're still having off and on rain right now. So what I thought I'd talk to you about right over here on this screen, and I'm going to be looking here in just a sec. So looking over on this screen, I have set up, let's take a look at this. This is my 2019 SSD drive. And so I've set up a folder called Clients, Final Cut Libraries, Graphics and Icons, Lightroom on Location, because I'm going to make a specific Lightroom library. The specific Lightroom library is going to be for this client job. I've got temporary B-roll of things that I can use, and then I'm recording this video into a folder called Tutorials and Classes to keep all of this together. So first thing I want to do, because I'm laying this out with Kino in mind, is I'm going to boot up Kino here. So we talked about this the other week, and I really have been playing around with my ideas about the workflow. So this new portable SSD drive is specifically here because of Kino. So I've got a couple ideas here. I still will be using Lightroom to catalog all of the still images. Kino is going to be looking over everything directly. So here we go. We've got Kino here right now, and so it's giving me a little bit of information. And I'm just going to go down. Here is the 2019 SSD with all of the folders that I created for it. And right up here in the left, let's just go ahead and open this screen up. So first thing I'm going to do, we're treating this like a completely new Kino library because it is. And so add folder, add recent folder. We're not going to do any of that. What we are going to do is 2019 SSD. Right over here, I'm clicking right next to it, is the button to allow us to see everything. So we've got the drill down mode here, and with that drill down mode, it's now showing me all of the files that I do have with me right now. And then I can go into specific files as I add things. So we've got some B-roll going on. Let's just go look at the client folder real quick. Client folder only has one thing. It was a video I recently did for the Prescott Art Store. We have no Final Cut libraries in here yet, but the nice thing is we could look at everything, or we can actually look at these specific folders, and I will not be adding any more folders. I'm going to use Kino to manage the rest of that. So you'll see that throughout the videos over the course of the next week or week and a half is when Kino comes into play. So it's cataloging everything, happily cruising along. By the way, I'm using a 2013 MacBook Pro to do this with a new SSD drive in it. So I've resurrected my old 2013 MacBook Pro. It still runs just fine, and we're going to be using this while on location rather than dragging along the big iMac. It's all about portability, and I think that we'll be able to manage this just fine. Video editing might be a little slower, but while I'm transcoding things, I can be working on other stuff. So that's my plan. So alright, Kino is just cataloging everything that I already have here, and that's great. The next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn Kino off, and when we look at things later, we'll see that things have been added. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to make a new Final Cut library for this trip. So I'm going down to Applications, and there we go, Final Cut Pro. So let's boot this up. It might take a moment, so be patient and hang with me. There we go, Final Cut starting up. And it's not going to find any of its libraries because I don't have those other external drives with me. So it's going to probably complain a lot. Well, it's happy with one fake collection, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here we're going to do a new library, and we are going to put that new library into the 2019 SSD, Final Cut Libraries, and we are going to call this Casa Grande. So this is for the Casa Grande trip, so we're hitting save on that, and now we have a completely new library that resides in that little SSD drive that we have. So there it is, Final Cut Libraries. There's the Casa Grande setup. So I'm good to go as I start bringing images and video in. So I'm going to go ahead and quit out of Final Cut now, and I'm going to do my final thing, which is get the Lightroom library ready. Now what's great here is that I'm still going to manage with Lightroom, but if I want specific images, I can tell Kino, go ahead and turn images on. Kino is going to be looking at my Lightroom image library. It won't be altering it, but it will be looking at the library. And with that in mind, if I don't want to pull up Lightroom, I can just grab it from Kino while I'm working on the rest of the project. So I'm going to do choose different catalog, and I'm actually going to create a new catalog. And let's throw that catalog into Lightroom libraries on location. Let's call this Casa Grande Trip. And let's create that new, there we go. So we're getting a new library here. And let's make sure we're at the top. Yep, Casa Grande Trip, Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. And there is a new update for Lightroom, which I will take care of after. So I am set to go for this client work this week. So let's close that one out. So what we've got here, I've got a client folder where their stuff will be getting stored. We've got a Final Cut library specifically for this project. Got some graphics and icons I brought along with me, and if I need any other ones, I can grab them. We've got our new Lightroom library. There's the library. We've got some B-roll in case we need some B-roll for any of it. And this audio and video recording that I'm doing right now, this is the label of it. So after I'm done recording this for you, I'll be assembling it in Final Cut, and actually I'll put it under the same library as the actual work. So we'll combine those two things together. All right, there might be more segments to this. So this is just the prep work. This is me just getting ready. So I've got everything set to go now as far as where all of my video and audio is going to go. It's going to go on this specific SSD portable drive, specifically for this project. When I get home, I will archive it to my Drobo as well, so I do have backups of everything. And I've got a backup to this SSD drive, which I will be copying things to afterward. So alright, first off, let's see how I Show You did with this video, and how using the lav mic, let's see how it sounds and if we're satisfied with it. So these are going to be fly by the seat of my pants kind of things. We're not doing a lot of prep work. I'm not doing a lot of slides or anything. We're going to go through this process together, and this should be an interesting process for you to follow along with this week. So I hope you enjoy it, and I might see you on the next segment, or I might see you on the next video. Alright everyone, have an awesome day if this is the end of this one. We'll see you.
Hello, hello, can I